Okay, we're gonna check this out right now. This 20 Strikes Rules. James Corden makes his guests follow on his show. Okay, this is about James. Let's check it out. Everybody got his own rule. This 20 rules. No, everybody. How many rules they got? This one again 20. Bro. Okay, it's a lot of rules going on here. Let's check this out, bro.
Rules are rules, but when it comes to the Late Late Show, anything goes.
What's going to happen?
I don't know.
James Corden may have a few strict guidelines for his audience, crew, and celebrity guests to follow, but sometimes they like to break a few too. Baby Driver. In January of 2020, James Corden was caught by some fans shooting a segment of Carpool Karaoke with Justin Bieber, and the truth came out. James doesn't actually drive. While the producers behind many of the first episodes of Carpool Karaoke seemingly claimed that James was actually driving, it was proven that he's definitely not driving while...
Oh, they are not driving. I thought they were driving. Oh my God. No way.
Bieber is in the car with him. When you have huge stars like that in your car, a fender bender would be terrible. The Late Late Show attempted to set the record straight, saying James always drives during Carpool Karaoke. The statement read, however, on the rare occasion when there is a stunt component and the producers feel it is unsafe to drive, they will use a rig tow. Anyone else feel like their life has been a lie? Be prepared for a long day. You would think that since the show is called The Late Late Show that it would be filmed late in the evening, but as an audience member it may take up your whole day. One audience member said they even taped until 8 p.m. even when they arrived on the CBS lot at 2:30 p.m. Although the producers say tapings usually last between 90 to 120 minutes, you will be waiting...
How much are they getting paid to stay online for all these hours, bro? I'm not gonna do that.
Around a lot at the beginning, and you may have to sit through several sketch shoots. Absolutely no pictures.
What about no? How about no? What about absolutely not?
The use of electronic devices is strictly prohibited while inside the studio. You may be tempted to snap a quick pic of James Corden talking to his guests, but if you do, you and your guests may be asked to leave and escorted out by CBS security. Although if you're a celeb guest, you are basically required to take a photo booth pic or a selfie with James like this adorable moment with Justin Bieber. A lengthy career. For those stars that James Corden picks for Carpool Karaoke, he actually has a secret formula. In addition to name recognition, they have to have what he referred to as career longevity. Corden pointed out that they have to have enough songs to fill 7 to 10 minute bits, but added that really they have to have hits. However, he has made exceptions to this rule. Former First Lady Michelle Obama had her own segment with guest Missy Elliott, but we think Michelle is basically a superstar in her own right. Hit me baby one more time. Like we mentioned, the stars that James Corden picks for Carpool Karaoke have to have hits. But what is also the key ingredient to making an entertaining segment is that they have to sing only their hits. Corden has mentioned that on occasion, stars will want to sing some of their latest songs or deep tracks, but it's called karaoke for a reason. He wants people to be able to sing along. Corden must fangirl. Another important component for James Corden's Carpool Karaoke passengers, he has to stan. Corden said, I have to be a true fan of them. I think you can tell if I'm not, you know? And was geeking out particularly for his episode with Ed Sheeran, and also says that his time with Harry Styles doing the driving was one of his absolute favorites. No do-overs. When Harry Styles is driving or James is at the wheel, there is one very serious rule for Carpool Karaoke: no do-overs. In order to keep things fresh, fun, and genuine, you get one take and one take only. Not even Kanye West got to do a second take when he brought his entire Sunday service choir to do karaoke on a plane.
No way.
Be prepared to spill
This
the
is
tea.
hilarious.
As a celeb guest on the Late Late Show, they sometimes have to tell the truth that they maybe weren't totally prepared for. In the segment Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts, guests are required to either answer a revealing question or eat something disgusting.
I'm gonna
Needless to
What's
say,
that?
a lot of celebrities end
Cow
up spilling
tongue.
the tea to save their stomachs, like when Kendall Jenner avoided drinking 1,000-year-old eggnog by revealing to Harry Styles that she thinks Kourtney Kardashian is the worst parent out of all of her siblings. Yikes. Dress code or bad seats. You don't have to dress like Kendall Jenner to be an audience member for James Corden's show, but you do need to look nice. The dress code for the crowd is described as business casual, but some former audience members have claimed that if you don't dress like you're getting cocktails at a New York City rooftop bar, you might not get front row seats. In fact, if you don't look nice enough, chances are you'll get a back row seat.
I've just finished Safari. I've got out of work late. I'll join you for a beer.
Time to go shopping. Laugh, cheer, clap.
Show everybody what you were doing when I said who would like to play.
As an audience member on the show, be prepared to look good and also bring your cheerleading A game. Audience members are required to cheer, clap, and laugh at all of the jokes, even if they don't find them funny, in order to make an entertaining show. They have a hype man come out before the show that explains what will happen, and they even practice the volume of your laughter and cheers. Make sure you warm up your voice before going to the Late Late Show.
Show us.
Just give me 7 minutes. Running a late night talk show is constant work.
It's kind of difficult for me to host a show.
And in order for James Corden to not go completely crazy, he requires his staff to give him some peace and quiet, but not for very long. Corden claims, "I try to carve out 6 or 7 minutes of silence twice a day," and said he just slips on a sleeping mask to drown everything out, adding, "And then when I'm done, it's like restart." I guess you could call that a James Corden disco nap? All the way from the back. Most talk shows have their celeb guests enter from the side stage, but for the Late Late Show, guests are required to enter from the back of the studio, allowing for a ton of audience interaction. James Corden just wanted his audience to feel involved, saying, "On a lot of shows like this, the audience is kind of a black hole, but we wanted to be in amongst the people. That's why our guests enter through the audience. Unless, of course, you're the Jonas Brothers, then you can just roll on into the shot in your own chair. The cops might show up." James Corden and his guests don't always follow the rules. In fact, they actually break a lot of them, and sometimes authority figures have to get involved. Explaining his segment Crosswalk Musical and Crosswalk Karaoke, where stars perform in LA traffic for the duration of a red light,
is illegal,
James Corden's
bro.
producers said, "We don't actually stop traffic.
Bro.
They just disrupt it." Can you imagine
not
waiting
legal.
at a red light and Will Smith, dressed as the genie from Aladdin, is singing
This is
in front of
legal,
your
huh?
car? It feels somehow dangerous and illegal, doesn't it?
It's
According
illegal.
to James Corden, though, only a few
Bro, this shit is illegal. They can do this, bro. You cannot do that.
times have we had the police come and ask us to tone it down. Be a little dangerous. Like we mentioned,
you're not
James
supposed to
Corden
do
for
that.
Crosswalk Musical changes up the cozy and safe indoor and
Never seen anybody
pre-planned
in comment
sketches
and
that
just do
most
whatever
talk
he
shows
wants.
do,
No,
and
hell
asks
no,
his
bro.
stars to be a little
You see a
dangerous
man,
and perform
a crazy
on
man
the
will just
fly.
run over
this
you,
can get
bro.
a little risky, especially on one of the busiest streets in Los Angeles. These stars have to be comfortable with being exposed to the elements, as well as the potential of basically being run over by cars.
Wow, look at
Harry
this,
Styles
look at
even
that.
danced in and out of the lanes of cars, but had to book it back to the sidewalk once the light turned green again. Phew. Furniture positioning. James Corden took the late night rule of staying behind a desk while his guests sit in a comfy chair and turned it on its head. He decided to bring his chair out from behind the desk and have his guests all sit together on a couch, treating them like longtime friends. He's the ultimate fan, thrilled that his guests have stopped by. He also sits to the left of the screen, which is pretty unconventional. A little bit of swearing. Another rule that James Corden doesn't seem to mind breaking is the infamous cursing rule. The FCC usually will fine certain cable TV shows for curse words that their guests
Got
or
him.
hosts may
Oh, Ramsey.
accidentally say.
Oh my God.
James Corden is a little different. He knows it will be bleeped and he will be fined, but James Corden even breaks that rule himself from time to time. In a segment of Riff Off with Camila Cabello, he even showed her how to break the rule right there on stage.
Can't say the other word because we're on TV.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't give a
360-degree set. The Late Late Show wants to make sure their audience feels like they're really involved in the show and that the viewers at home are basically getting a tour of the studio for every show. That's why James Corden decided to break the traditional rule of having the cameras pointed at the stage and the audience behind them. The Late Late Show set is a complete 360-degree experience, with cameras constantly filming all around the studio because why not? You really got to experience the entirety of their 360-degree set when Ariana Grande and James performed 13 songs for Soundtrack to Titanic, which they even shot in a single take. Everyone arrives at once. One of the show's key changes to the rules of the American talk show model is that all the guests come on stage at once, and they're encouraged to talk with both James Corden and each other. This always ends up with some interesting combinations and awesome interactions between celebs. Kind of like when Terry Crews and Lucy Liu showed off their secret talents playing the flute and the splits just to make things interesting. He brought musicals to late night. Late night talk shows have kept things pretty fun and musical for sure, especially with all of them having a house band. But James Corden wanted to spice things up and do his show a little different. Now, musicals are a part of late night thanks to all of the Late Late Show's musical segments like Soundtrack 2 and Crosswalk Musical. Which other talk show has Idina Menzel and Kristen Bell literally performing Frozen songs? Only James Corden's The Late Late Show. Hoop Dreams. To keep things fun, James Corden claims that they broke a few rules by tricking CBS into getting them a basketball hoop on the roof of the studio. CBS claimed they weren't allowed to have it, and especially not on the roof. So James, the producers, and the writers of the show told CBS they needed it for a segment, wrote a whole sketch centered around playing basketball on the roof, and then they just sort of kept it there. Sneaky.
Alright, this is James. Okay. James Corden show. The same 20 rules. Alright, everybody got their own rules. Maybe they know why all these rules exist, so that they can maintain everything. I don't know, because without the rules, there's a lot of trouble. Everybody will be doing, some weird thing will be going on. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this. Well.